What's up guys, Eric here from Techisode TV, and sorry in advance for my congested voice. I'm actually just getting over the flu. I've been sleeping like the past 2 days, but I'm still a bit congested, so bear with me on that. Anyways, this is it, the Galaxy S10 Plus. This is the 1TB 12GB of RAM version, and we're going to go ahead and get this unboxed, and I'm going to show you guys the fastest way to get this thing set up. Taking off the cover, the first thing you see is the phone, and as you can tell, I have the AT&T version here, and the reason I got the AT&T version is because I wanted Wi-Fi calling, and that's not something you could do on AT&T when you have the unlocked version. If you flip the box over, there's actually a little carton in here, and in here you have your SIM ejector tool. I'm going to pull this out now, we need this for later. You also get a little pamphlet telling you that the device comes with a pre-installed screen protector, which is pretty slick. Quick start guide from AT&T, DirecTV, again, this is all AT&T specific, so you won't get that if you have the unlocked version, terms and conditions, and that's it. Let's go ahead and pull the phone out, see what you get behind that. You've got your SIM card, a new matte black charger. The previous versions of the fast charger used to be a gloss black, but now everything is matte black. This is a very important adapter that's going to help you transfer all of your data from your old device to your new device very quickly. So let's go ahead and set this here. We'll get back to that a little bit later. And you also get your AKG earbuds right here. And this bottom box here looks like that has your charging cable. Yep, there's your charging cable as well. Again, this is also matte black. So everything used to be gloss black before, but it looks like Samsung is now going matte black everything with all of their accessories. Here again are your earbuds, and this is what I really like about these. Really quick, let me just take these out and show you guys something here. What I really love about these is that, one, they sound really good. For earbuds that you get just with a device, I'm really impressed with how good they sound. When Samsung first started putting these AKG earbuds in their phones a few generations back, they were selling them on their site for like $100 because they're just really good quality earbuds. And something else I want to point out is that this is a braided material here for the actual cord for these, and it's a really nice premium feeling material. So these buds are actually really nice, and for a long time before I got my wireless earbuds, these were my primary earbuds because they just sounded so good. They were wicked comfortable. So kudos to Samsung for putting really nice earbuds in the box. One last detail I almost forgot to point out is that you also get these different tips here. So you have 3 different size tips for the earbuds. Now that everything's out of the box, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the phone itself. This is from AT&T, so I'm just going to pop that off. And we'll flip over to the back and pop this off. And there you have it, the ceramic black back. Now this, honestly, it doesn't look a ton different than just a regular glass back. I mean, obviously, yeah, sure, it's ceramic instead of glass, but when you're looking at it, you don't really think, oh, this is definitely ceramic. I mean, it's polished to look just like glass anyway. It's very shiny. And I can already see that I'm starting to get some kind of fingerprints on it. So if you're thinking that the ceramic is going to stop fingerprints from getting on it or anything like that, I don't think that's really the case. Here is my Galaxy Note 8, and this has a black back as well. And you can just kind of see the differences here. They're pretty minor. I mean, when you look at them in person, the Note 8 with the glass back has a very deep black color, and the S10 Plus here, it seems a bit more gray. I mean, it's like, I guess, a really dark gray is really the only way that I can explain it. I'm just kind of trying to twist these around here so you could see from a bunch of different angles kind of what it looks like. So as you can see, I already have a decent amount of fingerprint smudges on the back there. Just try to get a good angle with the light here. But if you were hoping that a ceramic back would stop fingerprints, definitely not. There's still a ton there. So the first thing you'll need to do to set this up as fast as possible is put your SIM card in it. I'm taking the SIM card out of my Galaxy Note 9. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy here, just press it into the pinhole, tray slides out, and you can see I also have my 256 gig card there, and I'm going to put these 2 things in the other phone. Again, push through the little pinhole there, tray pops out, and I can go ahead and put my SIM card and micro SD card here. Go ahead and slide those in, and we'll turn it on. Alright, so when you first start it up, you're going to get this screen. It says, let's go, pick your language, then tap the arrow. Agree to terms and conditions and the privacy policy, but you don't need to agree to diagnostic data or information linking. These are both optional. Diagnostic data basically says that if your phone ever crashes or something like that, then that diagnostic data is sent over to Samsung so they can kind of figure out what's going on with your phone. And information linking is an expansion off of diagnostic data. So diagnostic data is all anonymous and like they have no other information about you other than the fact that like your phone crashed or something like that. Information linking links other information like the preferences you have and like those sorts of things also get linked to that diagnostic data. I personally keep that off, but if you want to turn that on, you can go ahead, tap next. Now go ahead and log into a wireless network. Once you're connected, tap next. Now you can sign into your Google account. So after you log into your Google account, you're going to get an option to restore all of your data from your Google account. Don't do that. The way I'm going to show you is actually going to be faster than this. So go ahead and just tap Don't Restore at the bottom. Next, it's going to ask you to set up some sort of lock for your phone, whether it be face recognition, fingerprints, a pattern, PIN, password, or you could just tap Not Now and set that up later. Next, it's going to ask you to enable a few different things. The first one here is backup and storage. It's going to ask if you want to back everything up to Google Drive. Keep that checked because you do want to do that. Next is location. So this allows applications to use your GPS and Wi-Fi networks in order to track your location. So for like Google Maps and stuff like that, those do need this access. And the difference between these two, use location and allow scanning. Use location is just your GPS and allow scanning is just your Wi-Fi. So if you want them to use your GPS but not the Wi-Fi, you can uncheck that one and you'll still be able to use Google Maps. It may just not find your location quite as fast. Here's another send usage and diagnostic data. Again, I typically just uncheck that. And the last one's not even an option. Basically just says that you agreed to allow apps to update and install on your device, which you kind of have to if you want to use the App Store. Now, if you have a carrier-specific version like I do, this is the AT&T version, you're probably going to get a carrier-specific setup and transfer option. Go ahead and skip this as well. After all that, we finally get to the fastest transfer method, and that is to use Samsung to transfer all of your data from the previous device. Now, you can do this wirelessly if you have a Samsung device, but you could also do it with a cable, and I typically prefer to use a cable because it just tends to be a little bit faster. So that's where this little guy comes in that we had earlier. You're going to go ahead and plug this guy into the bottom here, and you're going to tap Cable and USB Connector. Tap Next. So updating Smart Switch. Now Smart Switch is the application that's used to transfer all your data. Now I got to grab my old phone, the Galaxy Note 9, and I'm going to plug that in. And as soon as you plug it in, Smart Switch is going to ask your old phone to allow access. So tap Allow. Once it's done searching through all the available data from your old device, it's going to show you all the things that you could transfer. Now to save some time, I'm not going to transfer images, videos, or audio, and I'm also not going to transfer the home screen settings. Now what this does is it transfers your home screen orientation as well as your wallpapers, right? So your lock screen wallpaper, your home screen wallpaper, all of those are going to transfer. I don't want them to. I want to use the native wallpapers that come with the Galaxy S10, and it also sets up all of my widgets the same way. So I have this widget here, I got another widget here, and then I have another widget here, and then I have all these different applications, and it will set them up in the exact same way. So if that's something that you want, then definitely keep this checked. But for me personally, since this is a brand new device, I kind of like to try to set it up differently and really dig through the menus. So for me, I'm just going to keep it unchecked. As for apps, if you tap the text itself, you can actually go through and uncheck any application that you don't want to install. So if you're looking through it and you're like, oh, you know what, I haven't used this app in a long time, you can just uncheck it and it won't install that application. As for messages, if you tap that, you can actually select how far back you want to go. So you can go 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or 2 years, or all of your messages. If you have more than 2 years of messages, you can transfer all of them. Settings is really important to transfer because it has all of your Wi-Fi networks. So if you went to a friend's house and they gave you their Wi-Fi password, but they like typed it in for you or you don't remember it or something like that, then this will actually transfer that password from the old device to your new device for you, which is really handy because now you don't have to ask all your friends for their Wi-Fi passwords again, or if you had a Wi-Fi password at work or something like that and the IT department had to do it for you, then they wouldn't have to do it when you get the new phone because it would just transfer right over. And documents, if you tap that, that'll actually let you select which specific documents you want to transfer. So if you know there's a bunch of documents you don't care to transfer, there's only like 3 or 4 that you want, you can go ahead and select those specifically. And the same thing goes for videos, images, and audio. If there's specific pictures or videos you want to transfer, you can just select those and transfer them. Another important thing to notice is that it gives you an estimate of how long it thinks it's going to take. So it thinks it's going to take about 23 minutes to transfer 6 gigs of data. Once you've selected everything you've wanted, just tap transfer. So that transfer is now happening in the background while I continue on with the rest of the setup process. So if you already have a Samsung account, now is the time to sign into that. So as you can see, I haven't even finished setting up the phone yet, and it says here that the transfer is finished. So I can go ahead and close the application on this phone and continue the setup process over here. And also, once it says you're all done on this screen, you can actually just unplug everything. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And we're back to setting up this guy. So once you sign into your Samsung account, you're going to be asked here to turn on customization services. And that basically helps things like Bixby work a little better. They can actually be a bit more fine-tuned to you specifically. So I personally turn this on. So Samsung has their own cloud backup service that you could use. But again, Smart Switch is just a lot easier. So for me, I'm going to skip this. All right, so it says I'm all done. Tap finish. So now your Galaxy S10 is ready to use. Your apps are just going to keep installing in the background. But aside from that, you're free to start doing whatever you want on your new Galaxy S10. So there you have it, guys, the fastest way to set up the Galaxy S10. If you guys have any questions about this method, go ahead and drop them down in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to as many of your questions as possible. And as always, don't forget to like it if you liked it, share it if you loved it, and subscribe to see my upcoming Galaxy S10 Plus coverage. I've got a lot of it coming. There's so many new features on this device, and I can't wait to start pumping out videos for you guys. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be the first to know when the new videos drop. That's it for this Techisode. God bless, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.